Hello everybody, welcome back to a brand new video, and before we get started, please hit that like button down below and please subscribe to the channel. Right now when I'm recording this, we are just 48 subscribers away from 20,000. Can you please, let's get over the 20,000 mark. I'd like to appreciate everybody that subscribed so far. It's been a ride for me so far this year, and hopefully next year we can do even better. So please hit the subscribe button and like the video down below. But now we're going to do our prediction. Donald Trump versus Joe Biden in the 2020 presidential election. I have not done a Trump versus Biden video this month, so I'm looking forward to doing it and seeing what's changed over the past month, filling out the battleground map, seeing exactly how the states would go. Of course, I didn't fill out Utah by mistake there. Sorry, it's not going to go to some Mormon guy. Even if Evan McMullin runs, I still think Trump will do even better in that city. I think McMullin would probably get less than half of what he got last time around. I had that mistake by error, having it blank. But we can start on the East Coast this time, as states actually are called from the East Coast to the West Coast. Maine at large, I think that's going to go for Trump. I think it's going to go for Trump very narrowly, partially because of the fact the state has trended in the Republican column. Maine 2nd District will go safe for Donald Trump. He will get that turnout he had in 2016 in the rural part of the state. And as the Northeast overall shifts slightly a little bit towards the Republican side, he'll do just good enough in Maine's 1st District to carry home the state at large. As for the state of New Hampshire, another state I think he's going to win in the tilt column. He did a rally there. He got 20,000 people inside. He had 20,000 people outside. Some of the other candidates can't even fill a room there. And last time when he was doing rallies there, he wasn't getting those crowds. Yes, crowd size is not everything, but Joe Biden is so lackluster and he will stumble on this campaign. Trump is going to be able to tout things like the opioid epidemic. Trump will be able to tout things like the very strong economy, and that is going to help him win the state of New Hampshire. Rhode Island is not going to be contested yet. Delaware, not yet. Trump can attack Biden on his record in Delaware, and that could force Delaware to be under 10 points. I know even left-wing people I've talked with that say Delaware's not entirely out of the equation, while they think Georgia could actually flip and Delaware could flip. It's crazy. I don't think it's going to happen, but I'm saying don't discount Trump not doing too bad in the state of Delaware, but I don't think he's going to do necessarily good enough to win the state of Delaware. As for the state of Virginia, that is going to go to Biden narrowly. I had it as likely, but the gun factor, I think that the trend will be bucked a little bit. You had one poll having Biden up by 3. I think Biden is going to win the state by roughly 3 to 4 points because I think Republicans in the state are starting to get a little bit more alarmed and a little bit more energized over how they've lost the state. So they'll come out to vote, but it's not going to be enough to flip it in the Republican column. As for North Carolina will go to Trump in the lean column if it is with Biden. I personally believe that is exactly the way it's going to go, but it'll go by roughly 4 points. It's not going to be a 1-point win like Romney had or a 3-point win like Trump had last time. I think he'll do a little bit better there based on gains that he'll be able to make in Appalachia. And I think when it's all said and done in the suburbs of places like Raleigh, Durham, and Charlotte, he's not going to do too bad, and he's going to be able to carry the state of North Carolina. Similar thing with the state of Georgia. Even though Georgia is moving in the opposite direction, he'll win Georgia by 3 to 4 points when it's all said and done. As for the state of Pennsylvania, that is a state I believe he's going to win in the tilt column. Trump, honestly, will continue the trend. Western Pennsylvania, this is science, tilted more towards Trump. I think Trump will accelerate the trend. He'll do even better, even though he might do worse in certain parts of the state. Maybe he won't win Erie County again, but he'll just do so well in the southwest part of Pennsylvania. He's going to have to go there. He's going to have to do rallies. He's going to have to energize the people. He's not going to be able to win by sitting around and doing nothing, but that's really all I anticipate Joe Biden to do. So when it's all said and done, I do believe that the state of Pennsylvania is going to go to Trump again, and I think it's going to shock a lot of people. The early polls had Biden up by 15 maybe a couple months ago. Tightening there. So we'll really have to wait and see what happens. You can't count polling data at any point up until the conventions, even if they have Trump up by 10 in Pennsylvania, which I've seen that, or Biden up by 10. We're really not going to know, but I guarantee you that the truth is somewhere in the middle. As for the state of Florida, Trump's home state, I believe that changing his home state's not necessarily going to have a big boost for him, but I definitely think that he's relatively popular there, and his growing popularity in certain parts of the state and the energized base Florida usually perpetuates for incumbent presidential candidates will give the state of Florida to Donald Trump. He will do even better with the Cuban vote. He'll do better with the Hispanic vote in Florida as a whole, and he'll relatively might even do a couple percentage points better in the Panhandle this time around, and that's going to give him the victory because he can tout the economy, say, look at how good the economy is. I've kept enough of my promises, but we can, do the other ones I haven't kept in the second term. I think some of the promises that he hasn't done, like healthcare, he'll have to do with a Republican Congress that's not a rhino Congress, and maybe get a much better tax bill put out there. But I definitely think that he can do it, and I think a lot of the people that voted for him took a chance on him. The polls relatively show that in the approval rating, they've stuck with him as his base of support was a little bit before, but now it's starting to solidify, which is very good news for him come 2020. As for the state of Ohio, I think that the state of Ohio is going to go for Trump in the likely column, if not safe. It went for him by 8 to 9 points last time. It was unexpected. It was supposed to go for him by like 3. It's possible it goes for him by a safe margin this time around, but Ohio is Trump country. I think a lot of people understand that by now. Trends are real. Ohio and Iowa likely red. Maybe Iowa might get a little bit closer because farmers or whatever. But the polls out of the Farm Journal show that Trump support among farmers is relatively unchanged. Disapproval rating went up a little bit, but he got a Phase 1 trade deal agreement with China, so that's good news. If they gets a Phase 2 and gets the trade war over with in his presidency, I think that this map would have a lot more red on it. I think Ohio's safe. Iowa safe. You might even see Wisconsin be likely, if not safe in that case. And we'd be talking about Minnesota Democrats struggling and Biden just flat out failing there. So I think that Iowa and Ohio will stay at least in the likely column. Same thing with Texas. I don't think Democrats are going to have enough ammunition to take Texas back this time around, which, look at this, we already hit the magic number of 270 is actually all you need, just 270. You don't need any more electoral votes than that, but that doesn't mean Donald Trump is not going to get more than that. Michigan is going to go to him in the tilt column at a minimum. Just living here, you can feel the vibe. If you've ever driven through this state, I think you'll understand the anger at the establishment. You just understand the fact that this is a state with a lot of rural communities. And all these rural communities, actually, a lot of them supported Barack Obama in 2008 or were relatively even. But Trump really has a stranglehold on these communities, and he's going to get even more support in those areas. So whatever he loses in Oakland and Kent, he'll be able to make up, which is not even a sure thing, by the way. We don't even know how the suburbs are going to vote. But as of right now, I do think he's going to carry the state of Michigan fairly easily, even if it's against Biden, because people there do not like Biden. He can tote them a Pennsylvania thing over and over again. It doesn't work, and even when he does it, only 5 people show up. Trump does a rally, 50,000 people show up, and it's freezing cold, and everybody stands in the line, gets frostbite, but doesn't even care. Plus, you got John James. John James is going to help Trump win Michigan, and vice versa, by the way. Amazing candidate. But as the state of Wisconsin goes, Trump's going to win that in the lean column. I just genuinely see Wisconsin anticipating and accelerating the trend. Maybe I'm being naive by making that lean, but Iowa not safe. But I digress. I definitely think that Wisconsin is moving in the right direction, especially in the southwest part of the state. It's definitely moving to the right. I don't think that there's really any part of the state that's moving to the left, and Trump could very well do better in places like Milwaukee, even if it's just 1 percentage point. It doesn't necessarily matter. He will make that state go from tilt red to lean red. Minnesota, it's going to be tough. I definitely think it's going to be tilt red. You have a lot of anger, a lot of boomer Dems that might be fed up with things like the Somalian crisis going on, things that have created Ilhan Omar. They don't want any Ilhan Omars. They don't want all the terror attacks that have gone in, lack of vetting of these people. And I think a lot of people will appreciate what Donald Trump has done in terms of the travel ban, even if they might not have voted Republican in their life, the things he's done for the Iron Range, even though there's not that many people in there. It's possible he improves in Duluth, and he'll do it enough so he can win the state of Minnesota. for the first time, the first Republican to ever win the state since Richard Nixon. I would call it right now. Possible it could change and go blue when it's all said and done. But as of right now, I call Minnesota as I see it. I call it tilt to the president. As for the state of Nebraska's 2nd District, I put that as lean Trump. I think he might do a little bit better there. It actually trended red in the midterms, even though Democrats didn't field the best candidate there. I still think Trump has improved enough with that neocon type of Mitt Romney / Ben Shapiro, even though the two have very meaningful policy disagreements. I think he's done well enough with that type of voter to the point where he will win the establishmentarian conservatives that live in Omaha that have consistently voted red, with the exception of the 2008 blue wave presidential year. Colorado, I see that going to Biden. Biden's not going to energize the base there. I think it will be likely Biden, but maybe like a 6-point win for Biden. I think Trump will still hold rallies there, have fiery, energetic rallies. It's just not going to be enough. Same thing with New Mexico. I think New Mexico will lean in this case. I think it's possible that with Warren or somebody else, New Mexico could flip. It's possible it could flip. I think Trump is actually making a play for it, but I just don't see it right now. I definitely think Trump will make it close, but I don't think he's going to be able to win the state of New Mexico. As for the other state in the four corners that we have not filled out here, the state of Arizona, this is going to go to Trump very narrowly. Possible a tilt, but I'll put it in the lean. I think it's going to go by 2 to 3 percentage points, but I do think it will go for our current president. The state of Nevada, it's going to be a tight one. I'll give it tilt in the blue column. It's actually trended to the red. Republicans held the Secretary of State's office there. Dean Heller actually got more votes there in 2018 than he got in 2012, so it's possible it could flip. But as of right now, I'm waiting. You can't trust the polling out of Nevada because it always skews red. Yes, every poll I've seen has Trump over Biden in Nevada, but then again, can't necessarily trust it. Polls were R+5 in the midterms. They were R+3 or R+4 in the general election. So we'll have to wait in terms of Nevada, but I will put Nevada in the tilt blue column right now. Oregon, possible that Oregon could be under 10. But just for the sake of it being a safe state, I'm willing to just put it in the safe blue tier for now. So, all right, guys, thanks for watching the video. Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah. Hope you guys have a great day tomorrow. If you want to get me a Christmas present, consider joining the Patreon. You will get perks for that. I got a newsletter. I've got some merchandise on the Patreon. If you join, you'll get a coffee mug, t-shirts, there's Discord perks, etc. And like the video, comment down below. Please hit the big red subscribe button. Help me get to 20K. So join the Patreon. I'll put the link for that in the description. Also join the Discord. Follow me on social media, links in description. Thanks everybody for watching the video. Red Eagle, out.